Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajilam. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. Consider subscribing and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so that you get to know anytime I post new videos. So today I'll be sharing with us a useful sewing tip and trick to make your projects more easier, and I'll be using the tuck pleating sewing technique to make this. Alright, so if you're interested, let's get started. Alright, here you can see I have my net already down, and I'll be using this net to create the tuck. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take the front of this dress. I'm using this my satin. I use my pattern to cut this out. Alright, so but if you don't know how to draft the basic bodice pattern, you can also check out my video on how to do that. So this is the front bodice. So the first thing to do is to measure the part that has the highest inches. Now the bodice length I am working with is 9 inches. Okay, this is very long. I'm working with 9 inches, and then the waist is 12.5. Now you can see that 12.5 is the biggest inches that I have here, so I will use this 12.5 to make my calculation. So 12.5, I'm going to multiply that by 2, and that is going to give me 25 inches. So I'm going to open up my net and make sure that I have 25 inches. I'll also maintain the bodice length I am working with. So I'll just open this up and cut out 25 inches, and then I'm going to add between 3 to 5 inches extra to that, because I don't want to have any shortages. So I'll just add 5 inches to that. I'll just make it a round number, 30 inches. Then cut it out. This is what I'll be using to create the pleats or the tuck, but we're going to use the pleating method to create the tuck. So let me just quickly cut out, like I just said, 30 inches by 9 inches. So here I have the 2 panels cut out. One is going to be for the front, and this other one is going to be for the back. So we will start with the one for the front. Now I am going to open it up now, and the first thing I'm going to do is to mark out 2 inches from this first line. So this 2 inches is just a kind of ease. It's not that necessary. You can use 1 inch, but I prefer adding more so that at the end of the day I will not have any shortage. If I have it excess, I would simply cut it off. So I'm going to start from 2 inches on this edge, okay, and then mark that point. You can see I am using my black pen. You can use your chalk, or you can also use your scissors to just give that point a notch. So after marking that 2 inches, I'm going to repeat the same on this lower part. So after doing that, the rest of these I will just mark them 1 inch following the point. You can see following the 2 inches point, I just mark 1 inch. So I'm going to continue to mark 1 inch all the way down, and I'll also repeat the same 1 inch on this lower side. Then after marking it, I'm going to take you to my sewing machine and show you how to sew the pleat first before we create the top. It's very easy and simple. So let me just quickly finish the marking and then we continue. All right, this is where we are so far. As you can see, I just finished sewing that. So what I did here was I started folding it from the marking. Just hold down a point that you mark and then fold, and I use 1/4 inch to sew each of these. Okay, now after sewing it, now the bodice length that I have here is 9 inches. Remember that before it was 9.5, which is why I said it's long, so it's 9.5. After sewing it now, the what I have left is 9 inches. So this is to say that if you're working, for example, with 10 inches bodice length, you need to make it 10.5, because by the time you finish this, it's going to reduce by half, so that you have it exactly how it should be. Don't make that mistake, so that you don't have any shortage. So this is what I have here. The next thing I'm going to do now is to minus the sewing allowance on the waist and on the shoulder line. Whatever I have left, I will divide that by 4 and then mark all the lines. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have 4 lines. So this is my 1/2 inch shoulder sewing allowance, and this is the 1/2 inch waist sewing allowance. So I'll just place my tape now from that point to this point, and I have 8 inches. That is very simple. I have 8 inches. I'm going to divide this 8 inches by 4. Whatever I have, I am going to connect it straight. All right, 8 divided by 4 is 2 inches. So I'm going to mark from the 1/2 inch on the shoulder line. I'm going to mark the the 2 inches, and then connect all to a straight line. This is 2 inches, and then I'll place it on this one and mark the 2 inches again, and then on this other one it is 2 inches. So at the end of the day, I'll have 3 lines where we'll be making the top. So I'll just quickly connect this to a straight line and then show us how to sew this part. This is the main purpose of this tutorial. So after sewing it now, I am going to cut out more of my net, because I don't want my satin to be visible. So I need to cut out using this satin as it is. I'll cut out more net and place on my satin before attaching this main one. The reason for this is that I don't want my satin to be visible, so you need to add some layers of net to cover up the satin. So before all that, I need to let me just show you how to stitch this part. So this is where we are so far. You can see the way I just sew these parts. Now the first one, I just lay all the pleats down and then sew it straight, while the middle one, you just need to fold it this other way. It's very easy, just fold it the opposite way of this, and then the last one, you repeat the same thing you did on the first line. You're going to repeat it now. So after doing this, now here I have my, like I said earlier, that you'll be needing some layers. Use your satin and cut out some layers of your net so that your satin will not be visible, and that is what I have here. So all I'm going to do is to place it on my net and then cut the neck out, the armhole out, and that is just that. And then I'm going to use this to cover up my thread. I don't want it to be visible, so I'll just use this and cover it up nicely. You can also use pearls or any other thing you feel you're comfortable working with. So let me just quickly cut the neck off like I just explained, and then we'll join the shoulder. It's still the same way that I used to teach in my previous videos. Just join the shoulders together, sew the neckline and the armhole, then you turn it inside out and give it a good press. So I'm going to show you that when I'm going to do that part. So first thing, I am going to do the cutting and then attach this before placing my satin on it and then doing the finishing of this part. So this is what the dress looks like after joining it with the lower part, and this is the upper side. You can see that is very beautiful and unique. So this is the back. All that is left for me now is to add my lining and then do the necessary trimming and then give it a very good finish. And then I'll add my zipper. So I'll just quickly do all that and show you the final look of this dress. So this is the finished look of the dress, and you can see that it's already looking so beautiful as it is. I've not added any hard net, it's just the way it is. So if you want, you can add hard net to yours if you want it to really stand out very well. All right, so that is how to go about making this beautiful dress. You can give it a try, and I will see you all in my next video.